Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another Clayton's Classroom. Always happy to have you join us. It makes it a lot more fun on my side, certainly. Today is February 7th, already into February of 2018. It's amazing. And there's been so much happening for us lately, which we'll give you a little recap of that. Our guest host tonight is Doc Russ Newman, who is a longtime friend and been a distributor / dealer with us for since just about the beginning of Natural Action Technologies. And so we're thrilled to welcome him back and see what he's got going on. The first thing I want to do is to read our short disclaimer. This call is intended only for informational purposes. Neither the products nor the statements made about the products on this call have been evaluated by the FDA, AMA, or any other medical entity. The views and opinions expressed on this call by Clayton Nolte, distributors, customers, and or other speakers solely represent the conclusions of said speakers and are not guarantees that anyone using the products will achieve the same results. These conclusions and products are not intended to be substitutes for the diagnosis, treatment, cure, or prevention of any disease or injury, nor should they be taken as substitutes for the advice of a physician. Anyone suffering from a disease or injury should consult with a physician. All right. So I said earlier that our guest host tonight, we're welcoming back Doc Russ Newman, and let me tell you a little bit about Doc Russ. There's so many things to say, and he and I have had many, many discussions about all sorts of things, different cutting-edge technologies and ways of going forward in many different areas. And I don't know how much we'll be able to cover here, but certainly if you contact him, he'll be able to take you there. Doc Russ Newman is a holistic doctor of preventative medicine, certified lymphologist, and doctor of pastoral science and medicine. He has taught natural healing, nutrition, and energy medicine for over 18 years, helping thousands to regain and maintain optimal health. He implements new and long-time proven technologies to customize the best program for his patients. This past year or so, it's been more like 2 now, Doc Russ has added sustainable organic gardener to his resume and is the owner of Earthborn Elements. Doc Russ and his wife Kay have been developing a growing organic community, and in their small community of in Arkansas, I think it's near Hot Springs, while continuing to research and discover the highest quality products and techniques to restore and maximize the nutritional value in the food we grow and eat. He recommends drinking and gardening with structured water for optimal health and vitality. Doc Russ, welcome to Clayton's Classroom.
Well, thank you, Corinne. And also Bill Converse and myself want to thank you and Clayton for providing a booth for us at your Water Revolution Conference in Sedona last month. Boy, we really enjoyed ourselves. We also enjoyed having lunch with you and all your leaders, and then visiting at Clayton's home was a real treat, too. We really had a great time. Thanks again, Corinne.
You're so welcome. And you have another product and thoughts for our listeners tonight of something new that you've incorporated in. But before you get there, could I ask you to do the honors of introducing our host, our guest, the creator of why we're all here on Clayton's Classroom?
Oh, most definitely. I'd love to. You know, for the past 40 years, Clayton, as a scientist, continues to amaze me and everyone with his knowledge of physics and exploring the properties of water and the energetic effects that structured water has on all of life. And, Corinne, you know, I've been with you and Clayton now for over 8 years, and Clayton's innate passion and his desire to help everyone understand how very important it is for all of us to drink, bathe, and cook with structured water. Boy, it has saved thousands of lives, and it has further advanced the quality of life for every person and animal on the planet here. And, you know, people are constantly asking me why structured water is the only water that everyone should be drinking. And for almost 20 years now, I've helped people try to understand that, you know, they're not sick. they are thirsty, and the cells in their body are crying out for hydration. And as a society, we've been in a dehydration crisis in this country for decades, and it's all because of the lack of knowledge for most people. And we all should know by now that the human body is electrical, right? The two most important elements on Earth are water and oxygen. Energy will not flow through dry cells, folks. And if water cannot pass a current through your cells, your body cannot use it, and it just does not want it. And Clay, what I would like to ask you to share with us is how structured water becomes highly energized, oxygenated, and creates the smallest water molecules as it passes through your structured water units.
Wow. How deep do you want me to go?
All the way through that rabbit hole.
Basically it is the natural action technology structuring is accomplished through movement and then through the dance. And that dance is, well, it would be similar to you all dancing. When you dance, you do the turn. And every time you do the turn, you're basically detoxing your body. So I say this to people who dance: you will live an inordinately longer life than anyone else, basically because you're constantly placing your body in a position of detoxing. One turn will cause your body to start detoxing. So again, what is structuring? Well, structuring basically is causing the water, or let's say, causing the water to turn. And it cannot not do it. It basically has to, as the water is passing through the natural action technologies units. It forces the water into a turn. The turn is what changes the molecular structure of the water and everything in it. Primarily, the element of hydrogen is changed. So the high-speed turn that's created is called a vortex. And that vortex comes to a speed rapid enough to cause the molecular change of hydrogen. And primarily that aspect of change is what it does is it increases the hydrogen bond angle. When that happens, it changes the geometry of everything that it comes in contact with. Because when you increase the hydrogen bond angle, you are bringing water to a place where it can only be where the geometric form or the geometry that's formed by increasing the hydrogen bond angle is determined. I mean, it is set. So there are terms here. Structuring starts at a hydrogen bond angle of 114.5, and at that state, or 114.5, you're looking at 20 molecules or 20 points in the geometric form. And I shouldn't probably get really too deep. It gets really complicated to get down there very far. But basically by changing the hydrogen, you're changing the geometry. Everything that exists contains hydrogen. It's the number one element. And so when we change hydrogen in one thing, and that one thing comes in contact with everything that it comes in contact with, it changes. So when we change the hydrogen in water, everywhere that water goes, it reflects that change into everything it comes in contact with. Whether you spray the water on yourself or on any object, it changes that object. It changes you. It changes your plants. It changes the animals. It changes everything because it's reflecting a change in hydrogen. So when you ask about, what the structuring actually by changing the geometry, is changing the molecular structure of water. Water actually travels in clusters. Back in the day, I'd say 60 years ago, let's go with that. Water, the hydration, or let's say the change of water to structure water, is called the natural hydrological cycle. 60 years ago, water would be evaporated, going up in the atmosphere, and return as rain. And that rain was perfect, where it went into rivers, lakes, streams, the ocean, highly energized, and pretty much perfect water. Today, however, the up above your head, hanging over your head in the atmosphere, is virtually tons of carbon, carbon being acidic. So when the rain comes down through that carbon, it collects it and brings it back down into the lakes, the rivers, and the ocean, causing acid or acid rain. Anyway, so structuring through this technology, basically, it emulates the rain, but it takes it a bit further, and basically through the mathematical journey, the geometric form, all the divisiveness of getting this technology to create pretty perfect water, or let's say outcome, was consuming. It was me. I did it, you know. However, I would say, and I say this to people ask me how, and my how is, I came to the place where I'd ask a question, be able to listen and hear the answer, and then follow through with what I had received. Anyway, so you talk about increasing the oxygen. One of the aspects of structuring, again, changing the hydrogen bond angle. What that causes is it causes water to be able to penetrate your cellular structure. By changing the hydrogen bond angle, you're decreasing the number of water molecules in a cluster. And let's go back to 60 years ago, the water molecule clusters were less than 1,000, probably down around 250 molecules in a cluster, or even less. Today, there are over 30,000. And consider this, at your body's cellular level, receiving hydration or receiving water or hydration, your body has to make that, even if it's 250 water molecules in a cluster, your body has to make it usable. Your cells can only receive one molecule at a time, and that molecule can't carry anything physical or anything electrical with it. So how do you get from today's rate of 30,000 down to one molecule? And the extreme amount of energy has to be put up by your body in order to be hydrated every day. Structuring brings that hydration to instantaneous hydration. By reducing the molecular structure, increasing the hydrogen bond angle, bringing the molecular level down to a very narrow point, with natural action technologies, the geometry of structured water is 6 water molecules in a cluster. So at that, when your body, when you drink this water or bathe in this water, when your cells ask for vitamin A or vitamin C or all the minerals, the water molecule travels as a cluster when it comes to that cell that needs sustenance. The molecular cluster opens up into a train and basically delivers one water molecule at a time, dropping off the energy of all